Everyone thinks they like steak, right up until they have to eat 9 pounds of it. Could you do better than Adam Richman did? The 72-ounce steak challenge at the Big Texan Steak Ranch began in 1962 when owner Bob Lee organized a contest where the cowboys had to eat as many 1-pound steaks as they could in an hour. One very hungry cowboy managed to consume 5 1-pound steaks before also asking for a baked potato, shrimp cocktail, salad, and bread roll. From that day on, anybody who finished the same meal in 1 hour gets it for free. When Adam Richman took on the 72-ounce steak challenge at the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, he made short work of the meal, polishing it off in around 29 minutes, landing his name in the restaurant's Hall of Fame. Despite its name, cheesesteak isn't exactly a steak, consisting of thinly sliced steak, cheese, onion, peppers, and seasoning. Nevertheless, the 20-inch Philly cheesesteak at Tony Luke's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is a beast. The giant sandwich consists of 42 ounces of beef, 18 ounces of cheese, and 8 ounces of onion. Since Richman was present for the inauguration of the challenge, his goal was also to become the first person to appear on the restaurant's Wall of Fame. The only condition to win was to finish the meal in under an hour. The moment of truth came when Richman realized the cheese had started to gradually turn the sandwich into glue.
It's just the hardest swallow ever. I feel like I've been cold-cocked by some cold cheese.
Despite the setback, the champ of competitive eating managed to bring the Tony Luke title home in under 28 minutes. The rules of the Great Steak Challenge at Steak and Main in Baltimore, Maryland are simple. To succeed, hungry diners must devour 5.5 pounds of food in under 60 minutes, including an 80-ounce filet mignon, 26-ounce Delmonico, 12-ounce New York strip, 12-ounce veal chop, and 16-ounce combination of flat iron, potatoes, and vegetables. The winners receive $100 in cash and a free meal, while the losers owe the restaurant $140.
You know what, this is one of my bigger challenges, but it's definitely gonna be one of my most delicious.
Things weren't looking great half an hour into the battle, however, when Richman hit a meaty wall. When the stopwatch hit the 60-minute mark, he was left with 3 ounces of New York strip on his plate. This time, the food had won. In 2010, Adam Richman set a new record on a special episode of Man vs. Food by devouring a 48-ounce steak in around 16 minutes at the Don Shula Steakhouse in the Alexander Hotel in Miami. In fact, he was one of the only people to ever finish the gigantic porterhouse in under 20 minutes, beating more than 40,000 competitors who had previously waged battle against the huge cut of meat. While the food didn't stand a chance against Richman's hunger, the episode definitely captured the excitement and intensity of Man vs. Food, with the crowd cheering as the show's host powered through the colossal chunk of meat. The meal that took center stage in the Vaca Acosta challenge weighed in at a truly whopping 9 pounds. Whatever the exact weight, Vaca Brava's Vaca Acosta challenge in San Juan, Puerto Rico, proved too much for Adam Richman to handle. The rules of the game were simple. Devour the gigantic meal in 40 minutes and get it for free, with $100 thrown into the deal. Unfortunately, it proved too much for Richman, who gradually succumbed to both the mammoth size of the meal and the Caribbean heat. In 2011, Richman found himself in Nashville, Tennessee, the capital of country music, guiding 2 hungry musicians, the Low Cash Cowboys, as they attempted to eat their way to fame in the Big Rooster Challenge at the Rooster's Texas-style barbecue and steakhouse. The duo huffed and puffed as they attempted to devour a 72-ounce steak, baked potato, salad, and 2 thick slices of Texas toast in under 60 minutes. On the line were a free meal and a picture on the restaurant's Wall of Fame. At the end of the day, the duo ended up demolishing 3/4 of their steaks and more than half of the sides in a tough loss. One of Richman's toughest battles was the Brahma Bull Challenge at the Rib Line in San Luis Obispo, California. The quest? To eat a sandwich with 3 pounds of tri-tip steak nestled between a pound of sourdough bread in under 42 minutes, which was the record at the time. This time, Richman was helping the self-proclaimed food performance artist, Nader Rida, complete the gastronomic feat. Rida also appeared in Season 11 of America's Got Talent, where he devoured a burger with a dog food patty and a beef bile dip. While Simon Cowell, Howie Mandel, and Heidi Klum weren't overly impressed with the act and ultimately rejected it, Nader was more successful on Man vs. Food, making short work of the Brahma Bull Challenge in 40 minutes and setting a new record. In Montana, cows outnumber people by nearly 2 to 1. Casey Webb found this out the hard way when he took on a challenge to eat a 78-ounce steak, house salad, 2 bread rolls, and 2 pounds of mashed potatoes in under an hour. A victory would get Webb a free meal, an Everything is Bigger in Montana t-shirt, and a photo on the Bull Mountain Grill in Billings' Wall of Fame. A failure would cost him $110 and a spot on the restaurant's Wall of Shame. Webb's initial strategy was to tackle the gargantuan steak first and worry about the side dishes later. However, he switched it up at some point during the allotted hour, moving to the sides and leaving the steak for later. Unfortunately, the strategy didn't work, and Webb lost the challenge.
I need to get your picture for the Wall of Shame.
The Deadwood Legend Steakhouse got its name for a good reason. It's located in one of the most historic buildings in a town known for its gold rush history, the Silverado Franklin Hotel. We can't be sure whether Casey Webb stayed at the hotel, but we do know that he took on the Cowboy Showdown challenge at its Deadwood Legend Steakhouse. The showdown involved a 4-pound meal consisting of a bone-in 16-ounce buffalo ribeye steak and 6 side dishes. Webb embraced the challenge head-on, polishing off the meal in under 30 minutes, earning his place in Man vs. Food history.